Hi, my name is Tom Woods with R2 Sports Technology. In this video, we're going to take a look at our offering called Insight and what it does, how it works, all that. Before we do, just a quick word of background on who we are again. We're a data services company. I'm not a football coach. I'm a aerospace and defense data guy. For the last 16, 17 years or so, the bulk of our work has been working with clients like NASA, Lockheed Martin, Boeing, the Missile Defense Agency, the NSA, companies like that, where we take large volumes of data for them and help them very quickly make sense of it. So we're kind of data people. So everything you'll hear me talk about here with regards to the things we're doing in the football world is from a data perspective. I'm not a football coach. You are. You know how to coach and how to get guys ready to play. We know how to take your data and get everything out of it to help you win, basically, is what we do. So we're come from a data perspective when we look at these things. Now, before we get into Insight and what it's really all about, I would encourage you to watch our two other demos that we have that kind of play into what this offering is, and those are you'll see a demo there related to something called Game Rate Scan. And real quick word on what our scanning capability does. It takes your raw film data and it can go through basically the millions of combinations of situational factors that are in there, and it can uncover every high probability tendency that exists across your data set. So that's what scanning does. And we also have another demo out there called Call Sheet Optimization, which takes your self-scout data and your opponent scout data. It can bring those two things together, and it can show you for any given game situation what the optimal play call is just by aligning your strengths as found in your self-scout data on your opponent's weaknesses as found in your opponent's scout data. So it's the bringing it together of those two things that can help you optimize play calling for a given situation. What Insight does is basically, Insight's a platform that allows us to take that information that we gain through scanning or through doing call sheet optimization. It allows us to take that data and extend it to the field of play in real time live, so that where those applications can help you prepare during the week, there's tons and tons of information in there. You're going to come into a live game situation on a Friday night, a Saturday night, a Sunday, a Monday, whenever you're actually playing. There's uncertainty. You don't know how a game's going to unfold. You know, that's why sports is the best reality TV there is. You don't know exactly where you're going to find yourself. But at any given point in time in a live game, Insight's going to allow you to reach back and tap into all that information that's been gathered by scanning and by optimizing your play calling. Okay, so what Insight is, and we kind of our catchphrase there for Insight is the truth. It's about real-time in-game intel, basically. So you find yourself in the middle of the third quarter, nursing a 6-point lead, and they have the ball on your 30-yard line, and it's a 3rd and 6, whatever it is. That unique situation can very quickly be used to show you what they're likely to do and what your best play call is in response to it. Insight's the platform that allows us to deliver that in real time. So, as it says here, Insight, it's a cloud-based platform that lets you have real-time insight into your opponent's tendencies and your optimal play calls on a mobile device. That's simple. Now, we'll look at how that works. Again, what we're doing is we're extending all of your information that you've been using all week to the live field of play. Now, there's two roles. When we look at this here in a second, we'll get into an exact demo of how it works. But there's two roles that are played with our Insight system. Okay, so what you have within your program, you'd need to designate somebody as a transcriber, and then everybody else or anybody else you want to access this information is a viewer. There's two roles that exist. So what a transcriber does is very simply enter live game information as it's available. So you may have a guy with one of your assistant coaches, it's a GA, it's a parent volunteer, whatever it is, someone there who, just as simple as on their cell phone, during a live game are very quickly entering game situations. 3rd and 7, ball's here, boom, boom, boom. They feed live data. What happens when they do that is up in the cloud, this mysterious cloud that we all hear about, all the information that we're able to gather by scanning your data and by doing your call sheet optimization work is contained basically in a cloud-based database. So when that game situation is updated, we very instantly can pull information out of there and show you what applies. Okay, so on the other end, when a transcriber enters a game situation, it goes up to outer space somehow. I don't know exactly how that works, right? But it goes up into the cloud. It can retrieve, it enters that game situation, and we can very quickly retrieve all the tendencies and optimal play calls that exist for that specific unique situation. Within a matter of 2 or 3 seconds, it'll be displayed on everybody else's mobile device. So you could have you have your transcriber sitting up in the box, and you could have all your coaches down the sidelines or assistants, whoever you want, on an iPad, on their cell phones, and literally in seconds it's going to flash and say, hey, this situation, it's 75% they run to the right, 65% is going to be power in the B gap. Whatever it might be, it can instantly be displayed to you in real time during a live game. Okay, now so let's take a look at how that kind of works. And again, kind of real quickly, the rules on this. Obviously, because it's cloud-based, you have to have some sort of connection. So the limiting factor is this: if your cell phone works where you're playing, then the system will work. Okay. Now, if you find yourself in a situation where, boy, we don't have if you have a Wi-Fi set up, then you're really in great shape. But if you don't have Wi-Fi and you're playing in some stadium that has connectivity issues, you have to check that. If your phones don't work or you have one bar, your performance could be bad. Okay, I don't want to encourage you guys to get into something that's not going to work for you. But if you're in a spot where you have good solid cell service, at a minimum, that'll work great. If you have a Wi-Fi network set up that you're using for things you're doing in the game, this will work perfectly fine. Okay. Now let's take a look at how this kind of works in real time. I'm going to bring up 2 windows here, just kind of give you an idea. So you see the window on the left, we're going to make this our transcriber, if you will. The window on the right is going to be just a viewer. So this could be a coach on the sideline, on his phone or iPad, whatever it might be. Now the way the system works is your transcriber has a keypad entry that he can use to enter game situations. Now, as quick as he can enter data, it's as quick as we can see tendencies coming out the other side. Now let's take a quick look here. This is just simple drop-down buttons here, where on his phone he can just tap this and he can come and pick any game situation that is appropriate at the time. Now, these fields that you see here, in this case we're showing down and distance, field zone, hash, personnel, that kind of stuff. These are all customizable to whatever you deem most important. So it's going to be however you see the world in terms of what you consider critical for a game situation. Those are going to define what your fields look like. On the right-hand side over here, where you see these different tendencies, this is what the viewer is going to see on his screen. Again, what you see in terms of tendencies and field names and all that is entirely customizable to what's in your data. So it's just going to be, all we're doing is unlocking the power of your film data in real time during a live game. So as a quick example here, right now it's currently set 1st and 10, ball from the 20 to the 39-yard line on the left hash from 11 personnel. That's our current situation. If you look on the right, you'll see that situation shown right here. There's a kind of a status bar along the top here. Down in distance, 1st and 10, here's the field zone, here's our current situation. Then underneath here, you'll see the tendencies that apply in that case. So based on all your film data and the tendencies we've been able to find by scanning your data, we can see that, hey, there's a 71% likelihood that they're going to run to the left here. 57% chance they're going in the C gap, and a 57% chance is going to be that right halfback getting the ball. Okay. Now, how do we know that? We know that from your film data and from scanning it for tendencies. All Insights really is a wrapper around that brings it to you and feeds it to you in real time. Okay. Now, if I'm going to change the situation, now let's say we've run the play, and now we find ourselves in a new situation. Okay. So if I'm going to, let's say now I find myself 2nd 3 to 6. Now I'm up here between the 40s, and I'm on the right hash, and the guys roll out and they're in 12 personnel. So if I update that in real time here, once I make that update, this will refresh for our transcriber so you can go enter his next situation. But on the right here, you'll see that all those things have updated just that fast. So just as quick as I can enter that data, give it about a second to go to outer space and back, if you will, and you'll see a whole new set of tendencies. Now, 2nd 3 to 6 between the 40s, right hash, 12 personnel. Now here's 70% chance fullback going to the E alley, some kind of zone running play is what we're most likely to see in that situation. Boom. Play gets run, find ourselves in a new situation. Now we're 3rd and 7 plus. We're on the left hash now. Let's go left hash, 11 personnel. Oop. Boom, make that update. I can send it a new update, and boom, just like that, here's the tendencies for that situation now. Now we're looking 75% chance of going to the split end. It's either going to be a 3-step or 5-step pass, but we can see the tendencies that unveil themselves just that quick. Okay. Now, if you wanted to see details on any of these, like why is it 75%, you can click on this little button, and it'll pop up the specifics as to what's driving that tendency. So in this case, in your film data, there's been 4 times, the thing that's driving us here is their 3rd and 7 between the 40s left hash. It's that part of the game situation that is revealing a 75% tendency that they're going to the split end in this case. Okay, there's 4 times in your film data that it's been 3rd and 7 between the 40s on the left hash, and 3 of those 4 times they have targeted the split end in that case. Okay, now I'm going to, real quick, let me try and, let me see if I can log out and log back in here real quick. What I'm going to do here, and on our website you'll see all this same information. You can replicate these if you'd like. Let me just show you what that looks like from a defensive standpoint. So what we just looked at was we were just looking from a defensive standpoint, looking at predicting things that an offense is going to do. Let's just now look from the standpoint of an offensive coordinator trying to predict what he's going to see out of the defense. So in this case, I've re-logged in here under a different account that would give me data for an offensive coordinator. Same type of situation. Again, here on the left, I've got my transcribing menus where I can put in information. And over here on the right, now I'm showing things about pressure and coverages and fronts I'm likely to see. So it's all accessible. It's all different. It's all there for both sides of the ball. So if I'm 1st and 10 in this part of the field on the right hash, boom, I can throw it an update, and again, I'm going to get feedback very quickly on the other side related to coverages. Like in this case, 91% chance they're going to be in a zone coverage. You're going to see an okie front, and 64% you're not likely to see pressure. So again, it's your raw data. It's everything that we've already received from you. We're able to scan it, but we're able to package it now in a platform that allows you in real time, when it matters most, in a turn time of just seconds, that fast, where you can see and know in a live game situation, hey, you know what, we're stepping into zone coverage. If you weren't anticipating that, or if you've got a zone buster play, that's what you want to call here, right now, in this case. So Insight, again, is a wrapper around the other things we do. Again, I encourage you to go back if you have not spent any time looking at what we do in terms of scanning data and what we do in terms of call sheet optimization. I'd encourage you to take a look at those two, because those are the foundations of what we do with Insight. So with that raw data, Insight is the wrapper that allows you to extend that, take that with you to the field, so in real time you're able to see what can make a difference in a game. Now, as with everything here, just a quick kind of to close us out, this is a reminder, the way we work with everybody, when we work with our clients, our touch point with a client is your film breakdown data. So if you break down film, then we have something to offer you. Once our clients are done breaking down film, they do what they always do. Whether it's on a Saturday, Sunday, whenever you finish your film breakdown, export that raw data to an Excel-based file. They send that to us in season. We take it, we scan it, we turn it into our dashboards, and we kick it back to you. So it's very quick and easy to do. And something you already have access to. If you break down film, you have everything you need already. If you have questions, you'll see our contact information down here. By all means, feel free to give us a call. If you'd like to see what some of your data looks like and the different things we offer, by all means, just let us know. We'd love to spin up a demo for you. But we appreciate you taking time. We look forward to a chance to talk to you more. Take care.